Begin with our first presenter, Ranjana, Miss Ranjana, research scholar, and Dr. Disha Khanna from GNA University. You may begin.
A very good afternoon to all present here. The theme of aquatic literature, the inevitable import of water in the Bhagavad Gita, which I am going to present. So, as you all know, water plays a quintessential role in lives of both flora and fauna. Life becomes so hard without the precious element named water. In fact, we cannot live without water. Without food, we can manage, but to live without water is next to impossible. If we take the scene of a summer season, to when we go out, we really want a glass of water to quench our thirst. Water plays pivotal role in lives of all flora and fauna. The exclusive objective of this research paper, which I am going to present, is the role of water through the lens of spirituality and rituals. No doubt, water plays pivotal role in spirituality and rituals, and without water, we cannot think of moving further in life. In fact, our age old epics such as holy scriptures named Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, and Mahabharata prove this fact very well. Even at the time of birth, death, baptism, offering prayers to the Lord, during coronation ceremony and solemnization of marriage, celebrating various festivals such as Rakhi, Bhaiya Dooj, water is mandatory in every aspect of life. And without water, life seems really next to impossible. Our lives are governed by water element only, which is both present in and around us. The keywords which I have taken in my research paper are flora and fauna, halt, nourishes, priceless, quintessential, and valuable. Water acts as a healing power and it has its own inbuilt energy. That's why it is said that when we drink water for someone's place, we are able to judge what kind of energy is prevailing in that particular home, whether it is positive or negative. Apart from this, I would like to say that the taste of water changes as one moves from one region to another region and from one state to another. The taste of water of mountain, streams, ponds, and ocean is entirely different, which is there in our plain areas. But water has an inbuilt ability to absorb prayers. That's why when we drink water by meditating and by absorbing or by citing some sort of mantras, its power increases to a great extent. It is well said by B.K. Shivani that every drop of water used precisely brings life, and every second of time used consciously makes life, which is true in great sense. Moving further, water has its own energy field, which brings calmness, peacefulness, both at physical and mental level. For example, if I talk about holy places such as Haridwar, Golden Temple, people take dip in these holy places so as to get rid of their sins and bad karmas. And it also removes various kind of toxins from our body. If any kind of ailment is prevailing in your body, it is well said that if you take a dip at Golden Temple Pond, you get relaxed from that particular disease. But only handful of people are aware about this thing. It is well said by Wallace Stevens that human nature is like water. It takes shape of its container, and we are all aware about this concept by when during the summer season when we uh, make the water pour in any of the container, it takes its shape. Talking about the importance of water in religion, I would like to add that it is very well evidently seen that Lord Krishna uh, and Sudama friendship. Lord Krishna, he washed the feet of his friend Sudama, who belonged to a very low class family, poor, and he was not as per the status of Lord Krishna, but still, it's all due to water that he washed his feet and expressed his love towards his friend Sudama. Taking another example from the epic Ramayana, Shabri is the old woman who lived in a thatched hut, and he always is fully devoted to Lord Rama. And out of that, he really offered what we call in fruit named as bear, out of love by washing, not even we can say by tasting it and washing it with water and then giving to Lord Rama. It is all about the essence of water which is being seen in these holy religious scriptures. Especially if I talk about the religious place named Manikaran near Manali, there 24 hours running water is there, hot water is there where people can boil rice and black chickpeas so that the magical effect of water can be seen, and nobody is there to boil the water. It is boiled automatically. And as my research paper is seen from the angle of Bhagavad Gita, I would like to quote the verse from chapter 7, verse number 8, which shows us the element of water. O son of Kunti, I am taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon. The syllable Om in the Vedic mantra, I am the sound in either an ability in man, which clearly indicates that Bhagavad Gita is well flourished, well equipped with the element of water. And charging the water not only changes our physical energy, rather, our aura also becomes positive as we move further in life. It is well said by Neeraj Singhvi, water is the reason of our birth. It is the healer, the destroyer, and the final consumer. Without water, nothing is possible in this world. Moving more further, I would like to add that water carries its own uniqueness. If we talk about festivals like Holi, Bhaiya Dooj, Rakhi, Ashtami, Kumbh Mela, Chhat Puja, which comes 6 days after Diwali, and especially Shahi Snan, which is held every year in Haridwar, it's only due to water that it is possible. And all these festival loses its essence, flavor, and importance if water is not present in these festivals. Coming towards the Indian tradition and religions aspect, people in the morning time, you might have seen worshipping sun god. Surya Namaskar is one of the festivals where water is very much used in a wider aspect. If I talk about another festival in Indian region, Karwa Chauth, where ladies keep fast to for their long life of their husband, and they break the fast just by seeing the moon after drinking water. That is also seen in this research paper. In fact, man's birth and death, marriage ceremony, rituals, all are performed with water only. That's why water purpose is purification. Purification at the both physical and mental level. Water is the lifeblood and driving force behind every individual. It is a path of pure blissfulness, sacred knowledge, which frees man from lifelong sufferings. It is well said by Dr. Disha Khanna that water, also known as H2O, keeps the temperature of our body normal. It not only lubricates our cushions, our joints, but also protects our spinal cord and other sensitive tissues prevalent in our bodies. Again, I would like to talk about the Bhagavad Gita, where the element of water is very much crucially seen. It is in the chapter 2, verse number 70. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enters like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled, but it is always still, can alone achieve the peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. Chapter 2, verse number 70, where water is seen from different angle in my research paper, because I have taken the element of water from the aspect of spirituality and religions, and for that I have taken Bhagavad Gita in prime focus. So, coming towards my conclusion, I would like to say that it is our prime duty to conserve, protect, and reserve water at the fullest, because without water, life is seen nowhere around. Be it birds or human beings, it is impossible to survive without water. The water element with which human carries both meaning and value in true sense. Water is considered to be refreshing, pure liquid, which gives a ray of hope and life to both flora and fauna during all seasons which are seen on the earth. Secret healing practice is also practiced through water only. In the words of Nicholas Spark, it is life, I think, to watch the water. A man learns so many things from water. Nature has given us such a beautiful gift that one can learn a lot of things just by looking at the water, because the flow of water never goes backward. It always moves further and further in life, in spite of the obstacles which come in life. So water is considered as a powerful tool for healing, curing, and gives strength to individual during difficult phases of life. Water from rivers, waterfalls, mountains is considered sacred in every aspect, and so does the human when they consume it. The use of water in a wise and accurate manner can help us to sustain life for our future generations. So, for this, I have cited various works such as B.K. Shivani, Wall Stevens, Nicholas Park, Dr. Disha Khanna, and Neeraj Sangvi to make my research paper a great success in this particular presentation. Bhagavad Gita is the sense of life which gives us every aspect, everything which is required to live in human life. Everything is present to a great extent, and I have analyzed my research paper, Inevitable Import of Water in the Bhagavad Gita. Through the lens of Bhagavad Gita, I presented my research paper that is in the aquatic literature. Thank you. Have a great day. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
You're
you
able
so
to
much.
listen what I spoke?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay, okay.
absolutely.
Right.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now
Yes,
we
ma'am. It was a good presentation, Ranjana ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Everything has been analyzed, ma'am, from the aspect of Bhagavad Gita, because Gita is a book which tells us the essence and way to live life.
It was very comprehensively described. It was
Yes,
lovely hearing you, ma'am.
right. Thank you, ma'am. Yes.
thank you. Next, we will proceed with our presenter, Shruti R. Trivedi and Dr. Pratima Rai from Sabarmati University.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Um,
Am I audible?
yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Good afternoon, all. I'm Shruti Trivedi, a research scholar of Sabarmati University. Uh, Today, I will present a paper on water symbolism in Hinduism from a mythological perspective. Water, water is depicted as the foundation of the entire world, the basis of existence, and the elixir of immortality in
हाँ,
ancient
लिख
Hindu
लिया।
mythology. In the
मेरा नंबर पहला से तां जल्दी हो गया।
Atharvaved prays that may the streams bring us well-being. There are several similar accounts of water's purity, utility, holiness, and significance. Water later becomes a metaphor for life, and the flow of water is the life of world. Water is recognized as a healer in the medical field. Water is referred to in ancient mythology as the container of life, power, and eternity, both metaphorically and literally. Water is more generally considered a cleansing medium. To reach the source and gain the merit of living water, a sequence of ceremonies and religious practices like a pilgrimage and holy baths are required. The religion of water is depicted in Vedic literature and powerfully continued in Puranic literature. Water's ability to wash away sins is linked to the power of holiness and cosmic significance in mythology. Everything that is shaped expresses itself above the waters by separating itself from the waters. Running water in general and Ganga, what Ganga, the water in particular, are portrayed as bestowers of holiness and marvels, are as sacred as ponds. The various activities and rituals preserve a common chain of interdependence between water, water bodies, and human culture. In my paper, I try to study various significations of water and also various elements of water in literature. Uh, in this paper, I also try to find out various types of semantics and symbolism of water in the literary imagination. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, we will begin with our next presenter, Ms. Trishnaki Barua from University of Science and Technology.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It gives me immense pleasure to be here on this platform. And I would, without delaying any more time, I would start off with my presentation. The topic is capturing the role of police in providing security in the aquatic areas of the river Brahmaputra in the Guwahati city of Assam. The mighty river Brahmaputra is a great source of livelihood for the people of the entire eastern India, particularly the state of Assam and its bordering states and cities, as it flows with its tributaries through the heart of the city of Guwahati. The city is blessed and surrounded by wetlands, but due to the unplanned development and advancement, it has somehow become a threat to the common mass. The river Brahmaputra has boosted its economy and it's quite successful in promoting tourism in the stress of the entire Northeast. Therefore, it is the sole responsibility of the individuals residing to take care of the river, but unfortunately, because of increasing pollution and waste, the river has started losing its charm, and every year during monsoons, the water level rises, causing a big havoc to the surrounding areas. The disposal of additional sewage from factories and industries has affected the purity of the river, thus hurting the surrounding ecosystem and its rich flora and fauna. The erosion of its bank and decreasing landmass have become a serious threat to its locality. The city's law enforcement has been taken great responsibility for the overall security of the members of the community, as every year a major chunk of people go homeless and helpless. The city police, apart from giving security to the commoners, also makes sure to perform a wide range of duties and tasks during flood. They are responsible for safeguarding the entire stress, including the basic amenities of the people. So every year, the river Brahmaputra faces a substantial amount of rainfall during monsoons, and people suffer huge disappointments and disturbances. They have the police force, including both women police, have a major role in supervising and mentoring different boats. They go for deep rescue operations. The role of police during flood crisis in Guwahati is prominent, as there is a major contribution from all the officers, especially during emergencies. The city police undoubtedly have done a tremendous job so far in drafting and preparing road communications, ensure traffic plans to ensure that the traffic congestion is manageable and they could easily reach out to the flood affected areas. The officers, irrespective of rank, including the female officers, all hats off to them. They are doing marvelous job. Various communication conventions to collect information, to map up the emergencies routes for the people out there, to supply essential resources, including food, clothes, and other amenities, and as well as medical supply. The situation has become even more if the police folk doesn't perform their duty in a collaborative manner, the situation even go worse, because especially the women folk and the children becomes the chances of crimes such as trafficking or molestations, etc. Hence, the entire police department necessarily takes measures to safety and security and to provide overall patrolling in flood affected areas. During the phase of uh, the definite distribution of goods and services, the people gathered in some assigned area, it is very important for all the police to have a proper coordination among themselves, and therefore managing the crowd is something that the entire police department concentrates more on. Tracing missing victims and reporting the number of deaths to the higher authorities, one of the important roles that the police department has been doing so. Managing media and briefing them about the situation is also required. Hence, the police force ensures that there is a good communication with the media and responses, so that there isn't any false interpretation and rumor in different types of media. So my objective was to understand the various roles and responsibilities in providing security in nearby flooded areas caused by the river Brahmaputra in the city and its impact on the lives of the commoners. So the study was descriptive and it was based on 20 case studies from different experiences of categories of policemen with the help of an interview schedule. Just to give a brief on my analysis and discussions, it was observed from the case studies that the support system plays a very important part in a person's life, especially when it comes to maintaining smoothness and stability near the flood hit areas. Respondents who already had the experience to deal with such situations and emergencies undoubtedly had a wider perspective on tackling situations far better. Moving from one place to another at the time of natural calamities had always helped them to learn many unknown things in life, which perhaps would have been impossible to know if they were not a part of this profession. Therefore, the profession of police has always shown them a wider perspective on things without criticizing them. Guidance was unnecessarily seen as a valid way of for the respondents to get assistance and directions with the organizations. All the respondents reported the significance of good coordination at the time of engaging in various roles and duties during heavy flood and when people suffer from various diseases and heavy losses after the calamity. But because of shuttle and ingrained biasness in the organizational cultures, sometimes what happens is, like, the officers often working in those environments, they do not accommodate to the special needs, and this is very much applicable to the lower rank. Here I'm focusing more on the lower rank, especially including the constables and sub constables who need to be in the field throughout to witness and report the incidents to the hierarchy authority. They have few supportive organizational practices at their disposal, and organizations frequently leave them into their own devices when it comes to coping up with those situations. Professional commitments and projects are stressful factors in every police officer's life. Hence, importance should be given to working collaboratively so that the level of stress doesn't hamper the work in those crucial times during flood. Although there is a variety of changes in the style, patterns, and methodologies for dealing with the type of calamity in the city, the work culture and surroundings demand and require considerable zeal, patience, determination, and sharp observations, among other things too. So basically, it was analyzed that the working circumstances were not up to the mark and need more improvement. An endless number of discussions, alterations, and implementations of plans and policies simultaneously needs to be taken in every part for a better, sustainable development of the river Brahmaputra. So more adjustment and alterations are required to make these professions and the system more efficient due to the few changes that have come up with the methodology or in the structure. Marine policing would no longer be described as an inefficient one, although the loopholes do exist there. But significant changes have been witnessed so far. Often during the distribution of goods and services to the victims, a few of the respondents from the lower rank, such as the sub constables and constables, admitted that there is no proper coordination and support. Hence, they face hurdles in maintaining the overall victims. Therefore, the respondents from higher ranks, such as sub inspectors, inspectors, DIG, believe that the various organizations can encourage the commoners by assisting them before the rainy season starts and making them aware of the challenges and repercussions by organizing programs and live sessions to stay calm and patient in that crucial hour of the phase. So, a small little limitation of this study is the occupation represented by the participants constitutes a small portion of the respondents, and moreover the researcher utilized English as the primary languages for data collection. So this may have limited participants ability to express themselves freely without any hesitations in the English language, as they could have been more comfortable and efficient in their native language, that is the language of Assamese. Uh, to conclude, the intensity of flood in the city of Guwahati and its repercussion increases every year and leaves behind a negative impact on the lives of the citizens. It has also succeeded in affecting the marine life and its surrounding ecosystem to a larger extent. The police folk, together with the government, should come up with innovative ideas and policies to maintain and secure their a main source of livelihood in the entire state of Assam, because it is the main hub whereby the economy and the tourism sector of the state, increases and boosts up every year. So it was a great responsibility. It is a great responsibility of the overall community members as well as the police folk to address and enlighten the general mass every year regarding the occurrence of flood and its effect, and also to make them understand the significance of degrading sewage pollution and improving the marine life, as most of the areas get affected badly. There is undoubtedly great effort from the enforcement department together with the flood management community to reduce the liabilities of the community members and reinforce their aptitude to deal with floods and their hazards, and should try to focus on different aspects such as the in-depth study of climate change, a comprehensive understanding on flood management, and an overall insightful knowledge on hazards and its disasters. The police department should also focus on different ways and tactics to address the wider mass of sewage management, and it is as it is the major aspect through which the flood situation gets worsened or gets deteriorated every year. So the general mass should take the initiative for maintaining a sewage-free environment, and this kind of research and in-depth pieces of training would perhaps give a wider platform to ponder and find out the loopholes that are hampering the city as well as the river Brahmaputra and its surrounding areas soon after it gets attacked by the fresh flood every year. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure sharing this platform with every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was very informative and enlightening. Thank you for bringing this to light.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we will move on with our next presenter, who is Sri Lakshmi Madhavan from St. Thomas College, who will be followed by Meera S. Nair. All right, Sri Lakshmi, you can begin.
Okay, thank you. A very good afternoon to one all. And shall I present my screen?
Yes, you may.
Am I audible?
It's perfectly clear.
Okay, thank you, Miss Aishwarya. Now I share my screen. impress the images sun and creates mortal passions of darkness and fish. And also rain can symbolize multitudinous goods. It represents happiness, confusion, and a breaking of a failure. When a character is sad or temperamental, stormy dark force king as a way of it with the character. Then help filmmakers and storytellers to show the character's discovery, and also it's an advantage that is generally used to signify evil and others all to produce their novels, and good authors make it work good. Over time, contemporary cinema has explored the cave water visually and orally to give a visible form of Jewish. What is listed in films that submerges objects and objects may be fade. And everything of the symbol of Mollywood. Something in woven remarks along with the sea. The symbolic occupation of rain began with codes of man. We were to of their expressions and their situation. It's of to tell of determiner of the emotions in the audience presented. And today I'm going to explore the significance of rain in the movie directed by Kamal. And this movie tells the story of how she's suffering religious and battle. And this movie is so me and culture, and see it means this the time is so great place and what happens. Our main character is his father. First statement of Russia as the rain emotions. When Russia is sad or moody, the weather is of showing how the world is empathizing with her. Rain is one path where trauma is released. This is involved in the film, but most of in we see also a gloomy and in this crime committed by her husband, which is Sia her and wait
Sri Lakshmi, we can't hear your voice properly. It keeps getting cut off. So maybe you can check your connection. I think there's some net issue. We can't really hear your voice properly.
Okay, let's check.
You can
There is,
present later, I think, if your connection is better later. We can move on. if that's okay with you. Okay, so I think we'll move on. Sri Lakshmi can present later. Our next presenter is Meera S. Nair from CMS College. Meera, are you ready?
Yes, Miss Aishwarya, I'm ready. Shall I start?
Okay, yes, you may start.
Am I audible? Okay. I'm Meera S. Nair, a postgraduate student in the Department of English, CMS College, Kottayam. My paper today I'm here to present is titled as Romanticizing Rain in Real Worlds, an analysis of P. Padmarajan's Tuvana Tumbigal. Rain is one among the most popular and critically acclaimed metaphors in Malayalam cinema, as its representation has both optimistic and pessimistic connotations. Monsoon evokes a multitude of moods in every Malayali, like romance, melancholy, happiness, and nostalgia. P. Padmarajan made an attempt to romanticize the rainy weather scenes through his famous movie Tuvana Tumbigal, where rain almost appears as a character in the movie. When talking about P. Padmarajan, he is one of the best Malayalam filmmakers who has elevated the status of Mollywood by gifting a number of cult classics. His name is endearing and appealing to all the cine lovers across times, irrespective of diversities of age, taste, and tradition. He is a versatile genius, excelled in the crafting of both films and writings. His novels and short stories are as much popular as his movies and also earned abundant adoration among Malayali readers. This movie, Tuvana Tumbikal, is based on his own novel Udagapola. In the movie, the advent of rain into the romantic episodes of Jay Krishnan, who's the hero, enacted by the famous actor Mohanlal, and Clara, who's the second heroine in the movie, enacted by Sumalada, keeps the witness of memories about their love in the hearts of Malayali even today. Tuvan Tumbigal, which plays out love, lust, and eroticism amidst the backdrop of rain, still tops the list among romantic movies in Malayalam. The plot of the movie revolves around Jay Krishnan, who falls in love with two women in his life. The first woman is Radha, enacted by Parvati, who belongs to an esteemed family and also a distant relative of Jay Krishnan. The second woman is Clara, a prostitute who Jayakrishnan met in the city. These three characters in the movie are so honest with their emotions and equal admiration from audience and takes equal admiration from audience irrespective of their problems with each other. The protagonist of the movie, Jayakrishnan, is a hardworking young man residing in a village at Thrissur. He is apparently a responsible and respectable young man but leads a double life. His character that we could see in the village is entirely different from the one we see in the city. He believes in the principle of enjoying life to the fullest. After tiresome days' work in the field, he visits the city once in a while to have fun by drinking and flirting. He had love at first sight with the sensible Radha in his hometown, but Radha first rejects his proposal and humiliates him as she knew his flirting nature. She took time to reconsider his proposal. Later, she hears a lot about his fun loving life from her own brother and becomes very apprehensive about the married life with him. But once she comes to know about his sincerity and the way he treats other girls with dignity, she thought that he will make an ideal partner and decides to marry Jay Krishnan. Meanwhile, Clara enters in the life of Jay Krishnan and turns things upside down. She belongs to a poor fisher family who lost her mother at very young age. She chose to be a prostitute to escape from the ill treatment of her stepmother and to be a supporter for her family in the poverty. Jay Krishnan was her first customer. For him also, she is the first girl with whom he had a physical relationship. After knowing that she's a virgin, Jay Krishnan feels so guilty in making love with her, and at an instance, he tells his friend that he will not be responsible to make any girl lose her virginity. If he happens to do it, he will be she will be his wife for lifetime. He shows his desire to marry Clara also, but Clara refuses as she felt that she can't be faithful to him. But whenever she spends time with him, she feels that he's the best thing that has ever happened to her, and they continue to have intermittent meetings for some time. The movie ends with the last meeting at a railway station in a sunny weather. The setting of the movie is much familiar to the intended audience, that is the Malayali audience. Both the hometown of Jay Krishnan and the city that he often visits are much relatable to audience. The weather has played a significant role in setting the film and conveys deeper meaning. The romantic episodes of Jay Krishnan and Clara are displayed in the backdrop of rain. Monsoon, the season of rain in Kerala, is resonant with an array of emotions, experience, and associations. It's a time when new buds sprout, relishing the many boons of heavens. The love between Jay Krishnan and Clara also budded in rain and drops down when the rainy season is over. Padmarajan made use of Malayali's psychological connection with monsoon to deeply imprint a short-lived love story in hearts of Malayali forever. As mentioned earlier, Padmarajan broke cinematic conventions and traditions, including those of social realism, family stories, and tribulations. The love story of Jay Krishnan and Clara is not a conventional one. It never had a happy ending, yet the audience wholeheartedly accepted it and still remembers it clearly only because they could locate associations in it. Rain is a constant force in the movie. Throughout the movie, Padmarajan never tried to focus on the beauty of the location, but rather focused on the actors, and beauty just added to the scenes through background. There are many instances in the movie where rain elevated the beauty of the scenes. At first, Jay Krishna writes a letter to Clara. It starts raining. At the time, Jay Krishna wrote the salutation part of the letter, which is, "To my beloved daughter Clara," we could hear the sounds of thunder in the background. It may be a sign that something great is about to happen. Then a few raindrops fall on the letter and the hero wipes it off. Jay Krishnan's love towards Clara had all the blessings of nature. The blessing came in the form of raindrops and fell on the letter. He immediately repeats the name Clara and took a moment to imagine her face. The character Clara is first introduced in the movie through this scene. Her face is portrayed as wet and water droplets are scattered on her face. This enhances the beauty of her face. Here, the beauty of rain captures female charm and fantasy associated with the heroine. From here onwards, rain started to accompany Jay Krishnan and Clara, that is the hero and the second heroine. We can see the presence of rain in their first meeting also. In this scene, the rainy weather arouses the lust inside them and they made love. In the following scenes, lust takes the path of love and passion. As Paulo Coelho writes, love like rain can nourish from above, drenching couples with a soaking joy. A scene in this movie that is bound to everyone's favorite would be the scene of Jay Krishnan reads the telegram from Clara. In this scene, the landmarks of Thrissur also comes alive in the beautiful backdrop of rain. The man who brought the telegram makes a comment on the mistimed rain, which makes the audience understand the significance of rain in the scene. The raindrops falls on the water, made the ink run and dissipates the words written on it. As rain erases the words of communication between the hero and the heroine, audience may think that their relationship will be ending soon. Scenes of their last meetings are shown on the backdrop of a sunny weather. The presence of rain is not visible here. Throughout the movie, the director made an attempt to romanticize the impact of rain in the life of man by strictly relating it to complex human emotions. Even the title and the songs of the movie are influenced by the romanticization of rain. Rainy season had an alternative phase also, a phase of sad reality. Natural calamities and pathos related to it co-occur with rain in the real world. Yet here, in this real world, this phase of rain is completely neglected. Here, rain is the link that connects between man and nature. The intricate relationship between human world and the natural world were drawn with the help of rain that comes as nature's blessing to the love of Jay Krishnan and Clara. This idea is conveyed through the setting, which is much familiar to the Malayali part, brings a range of emotions and associations to the collective consciousness of a range of people, as it happens in the case of English romantic poetry, which evokes the land and life of England, the magic of Marcus, which breathes life into legends and lore of Latin America, or Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, which encapsulates the vibrance of the jazz age. This is equally true for filmmakers ranging from Kurosawa to Kim Ki-duk and Tarantino to Spielberg, who created celluloid classics of our times, which breathed to life tales of human reality and the varied, often traumatized psychic experience of characters over a range of emotions. In the same manner, the movie Thuvana Thumbigal is associated with the season of monsoon in Kerala, in the collective unconscious of Malayali, where the movie is explicitly associated with rain and romance. Clara, one of the heroines with the most enduring appeal among generations of audience as the female Fatil, who directs male fantasy, course of story, and the fate of characters. This movie has played an important role in making Malayali to dream of love episodes of their own life in the backdrop of rain and to perceive rainy weather as a romantic weather. This increases their ability to look back into the nature and bring association. It is difficult to think that human emotions have not been shaped to fit us for the natural environment. A positive relationship between humans and the natural world is essential to sustain both human well-being and the well-being of the environment. Human interaction with nature results in the health-related and emotional well-being. A branch of psychology called ecopsychology has mainly focused on the connections between man and the natural world. Studies conducted on this area found that emotions that facilitate and strengthen a sense of nature connectedness has the potential to inform moves to increase human well-being and to foster pro-environmental attitudes and behavior. Here in this movie, nature wants to bring a happy ending to the fairy tale-like romance of hero and the second heroine. Nature wants to bring them together. It may be the reason for lashing of rain every time they meet or spoke. Rain might be a sign that nature gives them to show the whole universe is happy about their togetherness. The presence of rain in the movie is not concealed, yet it is openly expressed when the hero opens up to her lover about the second heroine. He associated the memories of the second heroine with rain. He recollects that it was raining at their first meeting, and it was raining when he first wrote letter to the heroine. At the climax of the movie, there is no rain, and it was the last meeting of the two lovers. The absence of rain in this scene points out that nature is not happy about their separation. This movie is a tangled love story of Jay Krishnan, Clara, and Radha. It has a conventional ending in tune with the societal dictates and the feudal family values. Jay Krishnan and Clara belongs to the elite class, where Clara belongs to the lowest strata of the society. She and Rain intermingle in the film as a beautiful leitmotif. On the other hand, people of the elite class, the Jay Krishnan and Clara, pursue pleasures as a way of life. They also have a notable position in the society. The romance of Clara and Jay Krishnan is not a socially acceptable one. It is against the social order because of the different classes they belong to. But the situation is different with the case of Radha and Jay Krishnan. It is an approved affair by society as they both belong to the same class. The difference in the social class that they belong to might also be a hindrance to the union of the hero and the second heroine. On one side, nature blesses union of them, and on the other side, society is acting against nature's will. The element of anthropocentrism, the ethical belief that humans are superior to nature, is emphasized in this part of the movie. However, the movie brings back reality in its climax through the union of Radha and Jay Krishnan. The romance of Jay Krishnan and Clara is like a fairy tale, and it happens only in the real world. In the real world, the world of reality is contrasting to the romanticized real world. The title of the movie also has a strong connection to the rain. Thuvana Thumbigal, the title has two parts. The first part, Thuvana, means the water droplets, and the second part, Thumbigal, is a Malayalam word which means dragonflies. The movie is basically the story of two dragonflies that spring up with a new rain. They are having a short lifespan. Even the songs in the movie are related to the rain. The delightful song Megam Puthu Tudani suits the context as it represents the romantic scenes of Jay Krishnan and Clara in the backdrop of rain. Their love also, the one which started with rain and made the whole earth happy with their relationship. Rain is a recurring theme and symbol in this romantic movie, and the presence of rain can be perceived throughout the movie. The presence of rain in this movie reflects that the relationship has the blessing of nature. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you, Meera. You may mute yourself. Yes, that was quite a well-researched analysis of the film. Thank you so much. I would, Sri Lakshmi, if your net connection is all right, you may present.
Hello?
Yes. Is your net okay?
Is it audible?
Yeah, it is audible. Are you ready? You can present.
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay.
And sorry for the inconvenience.
Not
And
at all.
let's start. Okay, let's start my presentation. And today I'm going to discuss the significance of rain in the Malayalam movie Perumalakalam, directed by Kamal. And film is a truly unique form of art because it captures life in a way that other forms of expression like painting or photography cannot. And there are numerous aquatic modes of expression and perception in film. Water symbolizes multiple goods depending on the terrain in which it appears, but at most generally connotes sadness, rejection, or desire. Since ancient times, the element of water has represented the substance that generates earth, significant in creating a film. Water is frequently used directly in literature to represent uneasiness or to bring a miserable mood. Water is also a substance that can advance itself to symbolize vision, depression, and also trauma. Rain is an integral part in films, especially in Malayalam, and used by many as a character, background, and even as a theme. Just as rain, its of female characters is the symbol of Mollywood. And here I am going to the significant of rain in Malayalam and most ages, bones, and all suffer. And the I and the title itself shows the presence of rain in the movie, and through the movie, the rain plays an important role. The movie begins with rain, which make happiness, which shape, and after the fate of Akbar, that is the main character Razia's husband, and then Razia and Rain become one. It is just and also Razia's son or Modi, any is employed as a way of showing how the world is empathizing with her, and Rain is the canvas where her trauma is released. Razia weeps loudly in one or two in the but most of the time when the viewers expect a weeping rain heavily, Ganga, the counter version of Razia, has accepted her fate silently and she is in silent tears. And she remarked that the rain has consumed and it to the Kalai River, and the water in the Kalpati River is filled with the tears of young widow Ganga. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Okay, let's continue. When Razia learns the truth regarding the crime committed by her husband, rain flows down heavily, which is Razia herself in hot tears. Razia, in utter depression and disappointment over her imprisoned husband, is clouded in the heavy rain. When rejected and insulted by Raghu's family, Razia returns home through the heavy rain accompanied by her emotion of the viewers. Of one of uh, Aniswamy is striking as he says about Razia who left the place of the Agrahara after waiting so long for Ganga. She vanished like a shadow through the silver threads of rain. Later in the second part of the movie, it is through the same mournful yet powerful rain that Ganga steps out of the Agrahara and after giving comfort to Razia's life. When Ganga is thrown out of the Agrahara, comes down the heavy rain across the roofs of the street. By rescuing Razias from the lamenting rain, Ganga steps into the same. From this moment till the end, Ganga is the heavy rainstorm as Razia got the light of hope in her life. Though the movie appears in the wrap of tragic comedy, as the heavy rain stops in the minds of three, that is Ganga, Razia, and Akbar, it starts in the mind of the audience. Razia in Perumalkalam is the reign of suffering and trauma, whereas Ganga becomes the reign of sacrifice and compassion. The rain itself signifies the human tears, the quality of water that sometimes flows slowly and sometimes stream aggressively is in every way similar to the emotions of the women characters, which can either be a disturbing cuteness or a terrible rupture out. Rain just like the women experiencing the ups and downs. By discovering the metaphorical meanings of the overriding images of water and analyzing the relation between rain and women, we are able to build mental spaces of the images and work, thus understanding the hidden themes ingrained in the movie and the characters' physical and also psychological traumas and their self recovery awakening through the depiction of the rain in this movie. And that's all about my topic. And thank you for listening me. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Sri Lakshmi.